We are back. We're live. The red light is on with my dear friend, Michelle, the wild one, Montague. How are you, Michelle?
I'm good, thanks there, Dave. Yep. Happy to be nearing the end of camp and excited to go.
I know. It's coming quick. The PFL is back. Like the PFL is
Wow.
back. Major waves are happening. Yeah, let's talk about that. How does it feel to be literally in the heart of your camp, probably on the back 9 stretch of it?
Yeah, this is the last heavy week, and then it's taper off next week, and then we've got fight week. So it really is the end of it,
Yeah. Your first 2 pro fights were both at lightweight, right?
No, first one was lightweight, second one was 145.
Oh, Icon was 145?
Yeah.
There we go. I was there live. I probably should know that.
I was skinny.
So, you talked the last time we did talk, you definitely mentioned featherweight, and that was definitely maybe from afar, that's the direction you're probably going. How pumped were you when the PFL was like, yes, we are doing featherweights, and you're definitely a big part of it?
Yeah, I was pretty stoked to hear that for me. I'm I would say one of the smaller ones at 55, but like all the girls there pretty much can weight 145, you know what I mean? So,
Right.
So I think it's probably better for it's 50-50, right? Everyone that can fight at both weights can perform at both weights. But I know for some of us ones that aren't like super tall, like 145 is definitely a better weight for us to not be so small in comparison to the opponents.
Right. It's funny you mentioned tall because I was looking into your opponent, kind of looking to all the girls. I talked to a couple that's on the show. I know a couple, one definitely in the same gym as you, but I got that question coming up. But your opponent, they made a big thing about how tall she is. They said she's the tallest featherweight in the PFL, all of that nature.
Yeah.
Is that just something new? Are you looking forward to that, challenge? Figuratively. How does it feel to fight a tall girl like that?
I mean, yeah, she's wicked tall, like 5'11" or something like that there. But I've trained with a lot of tall girls, and I've actually probably half the girls I've fought have been my height or tall. Definitely when I'm doing the amateur, circuit at lightweight, most of the girls were taller. There was maybe a couple of little nuggets, but the rest of them were pretty tall, you know what I mean? So yeah. I was usually the shorter one. I actually I find it easier to fight taller opponents for
underneath.
So yeah, I find them a lot. I find it easier to fight taller opponents, honestly. And so for me, like I'm happy that she's tall. I mean, obviously she's going to be big and strong, and that's something that I'll be dealing with. But I'm pretty happy to be put in there with her. It's going to be fun for both of us.
For sure. All right, I'm going to throw a lot at you here. You already fought in Universal Studios at PFL last year in the Challenger Series, so you're doing that again. How does it feel to do that? How does it feel to have another teammate go with you? And it just seems like from afar, like the gym, it seems like American Top Team at PFL has a great relationship. I know that's a lot. How does it feel to go back to Orlando and kind of be like a captain of the team a little bit? You already did this. I know Evelyn's her own person, but just a lot of that, going down there to Orlando to take over.
Well, we actually have true captain come with us. She's in my corner, Kayla. So she'll be up there. So that's good to have. Going into it, knowing that I went up there and did the whole same, run through 10 months ago, that's good to know because it's always a little bit extra weight off your shoulders if you know exactly what your fight week process is in regards to. I mean, it's the same as any other fight week for yourself, but in terms of like the parameters of what you've got to do, who you're working with, what's required of you, and things like that. So that's awesome to know. I'm someone that loves fight week and all the bits and pieces that we get to do. Like it's pretty unique, and it's like the easiest training week of your whole fight camp because the training's done. You're just losing a little bit of extra like weight, and that's it. So it's a pretty fun week, you know what I mean? And then you get to fight day, and it's a mixture of fun and old fuck. So, and then having obviously one of my teammates, Evelyn, fighting in there as well, wrapped for her. I know she had a couple of fights fall through last year that she was like proper ready to go, and that sucks, So for her to get in there, finally get a fight, and knowing even if it fell through, there's a backup fighter waiting to go. So, so I'm excited for her to finally showcase what she's got as well.
For sure. All right, I'm going to. they always say you shouldn't be super nice to who you're talking to, but I feel like we've talked enough. I feel like we are very friendly. It's funny. I think I've been at, both of your fights live. Been in Atlanta with Kayla's fighting. It's weird that
we
I've
had
been
a couple dinners together last time after the fights, like we're
good. With that being said, how where I want to get to is Kayla is definitely the face of even the whole promotion, but definitely for female lightweights in the PFL. So they're doing featherweights, and you're the vet there. You have fought for them before. You fought for Icon. Kind of being friends with Kayla and just who you are and your personality. Would it mean, how much would it mean to you? Have you thought about this at all? Do you care at all that hopefully the PFL makes you the face of the featherweight division? And would you love that the team behind you and them taking care of you and all of that nature kind of being the Kayla Harrison of 145?
First of all, I'm not the Kayla Harrison of anything. I'm the Michelle Montague.
That's very true. Very true. Very true.
Just get that out there. But it's interesting. I mean, everybody loves to be, air quote, taken care of in the sense, you're not being left out of things, like you're going to get fights and all that there. That can happen with or without being, the face or whatever. So I think that's not really something that is on my radar. I think what I want to do is be able to impact the most people as possible. Okay. And I think I've got a pretty happy-go-lucky spirit most of the time, and to be able to make people laugh and enjoy the sport and want to watch it, and want to watch the PFL, especially women's, the heavyweight groups. If I can influence that the best way possible, and if that means doing more things for them at face value, then absolutely would be cool. But yeah, it's not saying that I think would make or break me for sure. It's actually having these fights regularly throughout the year, and then whatever positive influence I can have on them and supporters and that there, I'll just be absolutely wrapped with.
Yeah, absolutely. A birdie told me, and if they told you not to say anything, please don't say anything. But a birdie did tell me that the featherweights for the female side will have a season, we'll have a tournament, and we'll have $1 million champion during the season, just like any other weight class. Even if it's a new weight class, they are still going forward with it. Yeah. Like I said, are you allowed to say that?
Oh, I didn't know that was a secret. I just assumed that's what they're doing. They're dropping 55 and bringing 45, and most of the girls will cut down the weight, and that'll be that. I mean, I just assumed so. Otherwise, what's the point in Challenger Series?
Right. Okay. So I wasn't sure if that was allowed. What my point is, so how pumped are you? Yeah, I know you want to fight and fight. I would assume everything goes well and will go well on the 3rd of February. Boom, you want in that tournament and you want to fight 3-4 times and you want to become a millionaire.
Darn tootin'. Okay. Yep.
That's the game plan.
That's absolutely the game plan. Bear in mind, it's the game plan of about 20 other girls, but yeah, that's the game plan.
Right. So 19 broken hearts and one super happy person.
Yeah. You got it. You
got it. Crazy. Oh, okay. One thing I did want to mention was I love your social media is great, but I love your shirts and your hoodies from Millions. I would love for you to talk about it and show the link, and we'll kind of put that at the bottom there. Where can people wear your shirts, and where's the idea? I think they're very, very cool shirts and good designs.
Yeah. So the millions.co thing for athletes is that's unreal, mate. You don't have to put anything into it other than a little bit of an email or design, and their team comes up with it all. They share it. They do the designs until you're 100% happy with it. They take a small percentage of it, and the rest is for you. But you don't have to put anything in except for a little bit of your time. So, I mean, coming from amateur sport in New Zealand, where I've been the person dragging, copy pasting logos to a blank Word thing, and then taking it to the screen printers, and they've done it, and I've forked out for it, God, and then advertising for it. Because these guys do the whole shit themselves. So those designs on there, a couple of them they've done, and a couple of them, the Air Monty one and that there, I've either seen around with other fighters and that there, and adjusted it, or just thought that would look cool for something that I want to do. So everything that they sell on there per athlete, goes towards supporting us. So it's a really awesome setup that they've got going on there, and I think that my designs are quite nice.
I think so. Those hoodies are nice. I
actually haven't seen your name pop through buying one though, so I'm just gonna call you out on that. I'm
Okay, all right. Can we pause this interview? I'll do it right now. It's pull the curtain back. All right, you're gonna see it very soon. You're gonna see it. Two last things for you, Michelle. One is, so far this year, PFL's made major news. One, it was Jake Paul right off the bat, signing him and whatever he's going to do for the company. Also, of course, last week with Francis Ngannou leaving the UFC, there's been a lot of rumors where he's going to go. Of course, a lot of prominent rumors of him right to the PFL. Would just love your take. Those are two big names of the industry. Do you care? Does that kind of boost you up if these people come here and kind of put more eyes on the organization? What's your thoughts first on Jake Paul, then Francis Ngannou?
On Jake Paul, I mean, dude, anything that brings in eyes like that, and he is a pretty positive person, and he does get his hands dirty in with the sport and that there. And I think the thing is, if he actually has an MMA fight, then all the haters and that will be like, oh fuck, he actually had an MMA fight. Props to him. So I think so long as he actually does have one of these super fights, although I don't know how that works if you're a part owner and you have a fight, like I guess the commission has its own judges, but that's grey but weird. But still, I think it's a really positive move, and having those eyes on the sport, I can imagine how wicked those super fight nights are going to be if you've got the likes of, Jake Paul and Kayla in there. I'm just like, fuck, like it's going to be wicked to watch. Right. And then in terms of Francis, like, dude, who knows where he's going to go? I mean, I'm glad he did what he had spoken about, wanting to stick true to himself and not just talk about it and then go back there, like based off what he said. But I think every organization and their dog has been saying, oh, he's talking to us. So wherever he goes, a lot of eyes will go anyway. And like whether he has that boxing fight with Fury or keeps fighting MMA, who knows?
That's very interesting that you said that. And I didn't want to interrupt you, and I'm sorry if you saw me kind of jump up. Like you were like, I don't want to words in your mouth, but you were like, you were happy that Francis stuck to him, whatever he wanted. Yeah. Like I said, from afar, it doesn't seem like a money thing, because if Francis were to say, hey, they offered me this or that, it wasn't that. Yeah. It was just about, stuff that he wanted, respect, and communication and healthcare and stuff of that nature. So, yeah, like you said, sooner or later, if enough big time fighters do that, it's all going to trickle down and just be better for all mixed martial artists. So that's what I get from what you saying that. Yeah,
you're right. Absolutely right. And what I really hope is that whatever he does go to do, that those boxes are ticked for him, and it was like for him, he can be like, oh, thank God, it was the right decision to make,
Right. Okay. All right. Last question. This is a fun one. We've been doing this a lot of Fight Bananas. I'm going to put you on the spot here. So Mount Rushmore is 4 people. It's all those presidents and with the heads on it. And we've been asking, fighters who are their best ever. So we're going to twink it a little bit with you being a featherweight and you being on the female side. To you, Michelle, who are the 4 greatest female fighters in the history of mixed martial arts?
Alrighty. Well,
on the spot. Putting you on the spot.
I know. Fuck me.
No texting you beforehand, nothing.
I'm like, well. I'm going to go Shevchenko.
Okay.
Kayla, Nunes, and my heart's like pounding. Who would the 4th one be?
Those are all great. Those are definitely 3 of the top. Other ones, maybe a Rose Namajunas, maybe a rival of your best friend Cyborg can be put up there.
I like to go with I can't say what I was going to say.
Keisha Torres, Zhang Wei Li.
I think possibly could maybe Joanna or Wei Li.
Oh yeah, Joanna. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have to go.
Wei Li did beat her.
I know. But I'm looking at like the whole track record.
I agree. So you think Joanna?
I'll go Joanna.
Yeah. Like she was early. Like as many people say Ronda Rousey, and she was a trailblazer for sure. Like Joanna was right behind her and kind of inside the octagon. Joanna's skills were like insane. Like
I know. I'm thinking about people, like their track record and their all around. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like of course Ronda's like what she did and all that there. But like I just think these 4 girls all around, like kind of like that's why I would put them ahead of it.
Okay, I agree. Well, that's a great list. All right, we'll make some artwork. The wild one, she fights on February 3rd, Orlando, Florida. It's on Fubo TV, the PFL Challenger Series. Second time through. Wish you nothing but the best skill. And I can't even say I know you're going to hate that. I told you already. It won't be there live. My first time not seeing that. I know. I got a commentary gig that night, but
hey,
we'll FaceTime.
It's good to know what matters to you. I'm here with you right now. That's all I'm saying. But
That's very true. Michelle, you're the best. I appreciate you, and we'll talk soon.
thank
All
you,
right,
buddy. I'll see you later.